We travel up through forestry, and the expanse of Loch Fyne lies before you. A few miles along the loch lies the picturesque village of Strachur, former home of the late Brigadier Sir Fitzroy MacLean, on whom James Bond 007 is said to be based. Sir Fitzroy also was a former proprietor of the Creggan's Inn. The public bar is aptly named after MacFun of Drip, a local laird who turned to sheep stealing during hard times. He was caught and hanged across the loch at Inverary. His widow, who was nursing a baby at the time, was told to collect his body after the event, which she duly did. Rowing back across the loch, she saw his body move, so she quickly mixed a drop of whisky with some of her own milk and forced some between his lips. He immediately sat upright as the boat landed at the spot where a cairn now stands to his memory. As the law states you cannot be tried twice for the same offence, he returned to his estate and lived happily for many years. His gravestone lies in Strachur churchyard. The newly formed Forestry Commission brought Glenbranter at the head of Loch Eck in 1921 from Sir Harry Lauder, one of Scotland's best-loved entertainers. He had tried to develop Glenbranter, which means Glen of the Poor Land, as an estate that he could pass on to his son. Unfortunately, his son, Captain John Lauder, was killed in action during the First World War, and Sir Harry did not have the heart to carry on with his plans. This is now part of the Argyll Forest Park, and as the road travels down the shores of Loch Eck, you pass some lovely parking areas on the loch side, managed by Forest Enterprise, with outstanding views of the loch. The town of Dunoon boasts a promenade 4 miles long and is the largest town in the Cowal area. The wide Firth of Clyde and the rounded hills of the Cowal Peninsula create a peaceful setting for this popular seaside resort, known to generations of Glaswegians. Its 2 excellent bays provide good sailing for yachtsmen, with the annual highlight being the Clyde Yachting Fortnight in July. The famous paddle steamer, the Waverley, often docks here in the summer. The stadium at Dunoon is the setting for the world-famous Cowal Highland Gathering that attracts huge crowds. Dunoon was the home of Robert Burns' sweetheart, Highland Mary, and a statue near Castle Museum commemorates her as she gazes wistfully over the Clyde to the Ayrshire coast. Behind the town you'll find some attractive walks through the woods and waterfalls of Morag's Fairy Glen. Further west are the ruins of Toward Castle, which bore witness to one of the great atrocities of Scottish history. Clan Lamont once held great areas of land in Argyll, but like many of the clans had their lands taken by the powerful Campbells by one means or another. In the mid-17th century, Clan Lamont had sided with the Marquess of Montrose on behalf of the royalist cause because the Campbells fought with the Covenanters. In May 1646, the Lamonts were surrounded in Toward Castle and besieged for a couple of weeks. Eventually, Sir James, the clan chieftain, agreed to a truce, which offered freedom to all if they surrendered. After signing the peace papers, Sir James, his family, and all men of the clan were seized and imprisoned at Dunoon. 10 days later, they were taken to Gallow Hill, where they were either shot, hung, or dirked and thrown into mass graves. 36 chieftains were hanged from the same tree. When the monarchy was returned to power in 1660, Charles II sought out the Marquess of Argyll and had him executed for his crimes.